Okay, gonna go for a storm chase up Lightning Creek Forest Service Road. They spelled lightning wrong. It says Lighting Creek. What kind of friggin' guy makes a sign that says lighting when it's supposed to be lightning? Lightning of all things. I mean, if you misspell moose with mouse, okay, maybe that's a similar sort of like way under exaggeration of how cool the name could have been. There it is. This is bad news. My God.
Falling out right now.
Anything could happen. Get on! Wow. I'll watch the video later. Ain't try mopping this. 5:05 p.m. Feels like it's closing in on Wells. Things are growing. We got a bigger line out yonder. This is sort of a frontal storm that's popped up. One of these drier ones that have been popping up ahead of the main line. Some of them are the ones that can be the most intense because of that. I don't know if that's going to be the case here or not while we're sitting here, at least. A beautiful tall stacks going on. You can see this guy's really starting to bulb out right there. That's what I do. I'm a weatherman. I'm a weatherman. People have to understand that. Even I have to understand what that means. It's a big commitment. Being your weatherman. You have no idea. No idea how much shit I've gone through and sacrificed. Lost. Because of my insane dream of being the Cariboo weather guy. Which isn't that insane. Why is it that insane? It seems perfectly reasonable when you have a large pool of meteorological talent to give to your community where there seems to be very little or lacking. Haven't observed any lightning or thunder yet since I got here. Otherwise I wouldn't be standing on the truck still. And I am spooked after that zap a few weeks ago. Let's try to settle it in every direction. Holy shit! I don't know where that hit, but I felt the electricity in my head. Now, I'm not just a weatherman. I'm a different kind of man altogether. I became a real mountain man. I meant it, and I did it. This is where I go. This is where I hang out. This is what I love. This is what I do. I don't fucking care about soft beds and don't care about hot food. I'll go days without eating. And I'm fine. I'm a different kind of animal out here. I fought bears. I've seen tornadoes. I've fought wildfires. I've been struck by fucking lightning. I've climbed mountains hundreds of times. Been up on that mountain peak hundreds of times. Different mountain peaks. Hell, I'm up here all the time just driving up. Let alone all the hikes I've done. What did I do today when I wanted to leave Williams Lake? I hauled 150 pounds of shit up that hill and I fucking got out of that town. So I could be here for this. In the mountain, the place I love. Not downtown Williams Lake, sitting waiting for a ride. Thank you for the ride offers. Especially thank you to Lana. And thank you to Kyle Cotterill. And thank you to Ann. Because I've had a bunch of bad news this week and I'm not feeling great. And you know, those of you who know me well know I often don't feel that great. Like, you know, I do what I do to cope. Including being your weatherman. Come on, let's fucking go. Come on, Storm. I want to start hearing you now. Here on Lightning Creek, Wells, BC. Yeah, I think a lot of people who meet me are surprised to find out I'm really down to earth. Very kind person. I'm not selfish. I'm not a greedy person. I'm not ego driven. I like to do a lot of good things, give what I can. I want to be more than I am. I do that because I have this drive to prove to myself that I fucking deserve to be here, I guess. I don't know. It brings me satisfaction and healing to be that guy. To be the one you listen to and rely on. To just be myself, be a hard mountain man. Say it like I say it. You know, I'm a sensitive soul. Since I was very young, I opposed racism and sexism and homophobia. I've always been against that kind of base thinking that judges people. And that maybe sets me apart out here. But if you could take something from me other than storm watching, it's having that compassion for all people. And then trying to extend it to yourself when you can. I've had to learn to do that in my sobriety. Come on already, let's go! See a show. That's what I need today. Need to see a show. 46 years old, I'll run everybody. I'm a guy who can move. I'm a guy who thinks, strategizes, has tactics, has knowledge, factual knowledge, provable information, not conspiracy theory driven or fear driven or, you know, politically driven. But what is the facts of the matter? That's how you become smart, is by trying to learn as many factual things as you can. The less time you spend learning things that are, you know, not real, the better, if you want to become a very smart person. If you're going to spend 3 hours watching sitcoms at night, you know, I do watch some sports, so like, you know, hey, we all have our things, we sometimes do. But, you know, if you're spending a great deal of your time just kind of putting garbage in, you're never going to get to a place of wisdom. It's darkening. It's darkening in Lightning Creek. I want to see some lightning in Lightning Creek. That's what I'm here to do today. Man, there's a lot of cold air coming out of these guys. See, I think, you know, one of the comments I heard today is like, well, it wasn't that warm for how strong they got, but you have to understand the disturbance is at the upper level. It's not necessarily ground-based disturbance this time, right? See, if you're surface-based instability, then you have your upper level instability, different varying levels of instability, you know, as you go up. Where is that, you know, is it at the 20,000 foot mark? Is it at the 30,000 foot mark? Is it at the 10,000 foot mark? Where is that instability at? So today, because it's a low pressure system moving through, there is that energy there available already. That energy is there because there's instability at the upper level where the trough is. We will experience that as thunderstorms down here very shortly. Generally, the first couple shots are cloud to cloud, as it's, you know, man, that's active. That's a lot of lightning going on. Steady lightning on the AM radio band. Steady lightning. This guy's about to move through. I may need to get into a slightly better location to really appreciate this one. I'm just kind of on the flank. Wow, listen to that. Okay, so it's out there. Oh, it's out there somewhere. Close, just not hearing it yet. Sometimes you're not going to hear it, especially if it's windy like this. Maybe until it's under 15, probably 10 kilometers. That might be the closest you'll be able to hear that rumbling. So you got to be aware when you start hearing that rumble in the daytime. Now at nighttime you hear a little further. Sound waves will travel a little further. In the cooler air of the evening. Holy shit, listen to that. That's awesome. You know, I've saved lives. I feel good about that too. That's given my life meaning. And I don't just mean lives I may have saved with forecasting weather. I'm sure that's happened. I'm sure that the direction of someone's existence was changed because they heeded my warnings. And I was that person. That was maybe the meaning of my life or the point of my life or something, to do those kinds of things. But also, you know, first aid wise and talking people off the ledge wise. I've saved lives. I even saved my own life once. Well, a few times actually, if you're honest about my adventures out here. I saved my life a few times out here. I guess I put myself in danger and then had to extricate myself from a situation. That's how I learned. That's how I got good out here. That's how I knew what my limits were. And I realized that they were far. My limits were far. I could do a lot of things. I could climb. I could scale rocks. I could climb trees, fall trees. I have route finding abilities that are amazing. And that's part of why I'm a great weatherman, is because I got the Google Maps in my head. Like, you know, I tend to know what's going on directionally, where I am, what's happening. Very sensitive, perceptive. Always on the view. I'm not one of these people that sits there and looks at you a lot when we talk. So like the Joey you get on a camera is not the Joey who exists out there in the world. I mean, they're the same, but it's not like it's not like I'm putting a face on to be a camera guy. It's just like there's only so often I actually just kind of like strip down and talk like this. You know, I'm feeling pretty broken right now. I had some bad news this week. I mean, a lot of it I don't really want to talk about, but Bob Blau dying, yeah, I do. We got sent to a fire for a couple days there. I was there right by Bob Blau's old farm. And so I was talking about it, like, wow, you know, I did a lot of cowboying back here and put in a lot of fence line and fixed all Bob's fences. I cleared a whole bunch of property. I've gone hunting back there. And then I get back to town and find out Bob's died. And talked to his son Jack for a while that night. You know, and that alone is like, wow, the end of... Yeah. Bob really... He was a special person who could do a lot of things too. He made like the best woodworking, the best furniture. I mean, the guy was Tingley Creek Furniture was an unbelievable product he sold. He'd sell a rocking chair for like $1,000, you know, like it wasn't some homemade looking crap. All the rocking chairs in the hospital, I think at one time at least, were made by Bob. Bob loved nature. He loved life. He loved everybody and everything. You know, I can't fault him for that, but I'm not able to replicate that. You know, my dad was in prison growing up. Like, my single mom was a warrior and a hero. But I was always bitter. I was always part of... things were never that easy. I was always playing from a step behind a lot of people, and yet somehow I managed to end up where I wanted to be in the world and play lots of music and meet lots of beautiful people and have all these adventures everywhere and buy a house that's a weird one that we could afford it in Wells, British Columbia, you know, this epic place where I could drive 7 minutes and be at the entrance to Lighting Creek, whatever that Lightning Creek. Yeah, so like I don't make weather forecasting because I have this delusion that it'll be some glorious outcome, or you know, like maybe I'll get so popular everyone will know me. Like I'm very shy about that. Don't like to talk about it. Just people who don't know me, you know, it's just like I'm just a guy. I do some things. Like what? Oh, well, our band played 2,000 shows. I used to have had radio shows for 13 years off and on in my life. Yeah, I host radio shows. Yeah, you know, it's just like lots of endless accomplishments that a kid who grew up broken and angry and somehow managed to pull it together long enough, and then was so broken and angry still yet that I had to go to therapy and get sober and change my life. And Try to just feel things, not run from it. Just feel it. Unfortunately, being a man of great feeling it's a tough place to be. Finally! Let's go already! Woo! I love it!